They're door prizes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Door prizes.
Okay.
Door prizes. All right. Our trainer this evening is Scott Gause. Scott is one of 6 peak performance strategists from the Anthony Robbins Company. He advises and consults with executives, managers, and sales teams in the areas of personal and professional achievement and sales mastery. He speaks to over 200 companies a year, giving presentations and running trainings throughout North America. Scott received a bachelor's degree from West Virginia University and combined 12 years of business consulting, life coaching, and holistic health coaching experience. Again, you're a perfect candidate for my team, I'm telling you. Before working with Anthony Robbins Company, Scott had the privilege of serving in the United States Air Force. Scott's greatest passion is to inspire human beings to achieve their full potential and dreams. Scott will share strategies from Anthony Robbins designed to give you the competitive edge in your businesses. Exciting! Along with an opportunity to master these strategies and take your business to the next level in 2016 by attending a very special event that's going to be here in Dallas with Tony Robbins Live. It's called Unleash the Power Within. So please join me in giving your trainer, Scott Gause, a big hand.
Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you so much. I'll put this over here.
You can just flip the button. There we go. Perfect.
All right, thank you. So, wow, before I get started, let's give Jen a big hand for bringing me in today. Pretty amazing. And thank you for that wonderful introduction. One of the best I ever had. It's like I wrote it myself. So if you want to be introduced the right way, write your own introduction, right? So my name is Scott Gause. I'm actually one of 6 corporate trainers for the Tony Robbins companies. And out of curiosity, how many people by a quick show of hands have actually heard of Tony Robbins before? Anybody not heard of Tony Robbins? Anybody not going to raise your hand no matter what I say or do? All right, we got a few of those people. For those people who don't know, Tony Robbins is known throughout the world as a world leader as far as negotiation, sales, leadership. He's personally coached and worked with people we all heard of, the Hugh Jackmans, Michael Dell, the Stephen Wynns, Mark Benioff from Salesforce.com, coached sports teams. Pretty interesting fact, he's actually coached 3 basketball teams. All 3 teams have actually, when he coached them, went to the NBA Finals and won. Golden State Warriors last year, our Dallas Mavericks, and also the San Antonio Spurs. So when I say Tony Robbins and we talk about sales and success, why do you think people throughout the world that are very successful, that are very motivated, that are very driven, why in the world would they actually spend sometimes over $1 million a year to work with Tony Robbins? Why do you think?
It works.
It works, right? Thank you. To get results, right? So our outcome today is to really be able to help you guys get some results. Because look, I'm not here to motivate anybody because I know you're motivated. And how do I know you're motivated? You're here, right? So what we're here to do is be able to talk about, what might be stopping us? Why is it sometimes that we say we want to do stuff and there's things we want to achieve personally and professionally in our relationships and our health? And for some people in the room, we've been saying it for many years, fair to say, right? But how are we going to be able to really break through and uncover what's stopping us, some emotional blocks, some things that are stopping us, not only for 2016, but more importantly for the rest of your life? But for that to happen, for us to get the most out of our time today, there's a few things have to happen. Because studies have shown, you sit here and listen to me passively, like we did in 7th grade algebra class, falling back in our chair. How many people remember what you learned in algebra class in 7th grade? Very few people, precisely, right? The smart ones in the room, because things go in one ear and out the other, right? So for us to be able to really be able to get some amazing results today, there's a few things have to happen. We have to do what we call participation. Participation is this. If you could sit up straight in your chair, keep eye contact, write down some notes. If it feels good, raise your hand, even shout out answers with energy. And what happens, you'll be able to have what we call an active learning experience. So the key word today, team, is a word called participation. What's the key word?
Participation.
Are we committed to making this year the best year? Say yes?
Yes.
Making more money?
Yes.
If you're committed, turn to the person to your left and the person to your right. Say, I'm committed. Are you? I'm committed. Are you? So Tony always likes to ask questions, and the question he loves to ask is just, what determines our success? And the first thing I want to talk about today is a word called patterns. So anywhere in your worksheet today, write down a word called patterns, P-A-T-T-E-R-N-S. And let me ask you, team, what is a pattern of behavior? Habit. What's your name, sir? Habit. How many people have good habits? By show of hands. Anybody brush your teeth today? We still don't have all the hands. There we go. And do we have bad habits as well, right? And isn't it funny sometimes in life, we become creatures of habit, right? And we have these habits that we do unconsciously over and over and over again, and sometimes it becomes so enforced that become a way of living. But here's what's fascinating about our habits. When we actually come up with our knowledge, sometimes we know what we should be doing, but is it fair to say sometimes we have the experience of having our habits or patterns actually overpowering what we know we should be doing? Is that fair to say, right? Maybe making phone calls, bringing people to the meetings, telling people about the opportunity, and really sharing the vision. Even though we know we should be doing it, sometimes we always don't do what we know, right? So is anybody in the room for playing a fun game on how we determine our patterns and habits? Anybody open for a fun game?
Yes.
Everybody stand up with some energy. All right, get the hands moving a little bit. Get some energy. So if you follow Tony Robbins, he's very, very, very passionate about physiology and movement. He has a great term called motion creates emotion, right? So if you could, team, put your hands about 6 inches apart for me. Some people in the room are like, Scott, 6 inches, the big thinkers, right? And when I say go, if you could, team, put your hands together, interlocking your fingers and thumbs. Follow me, okay? Ready, go. Again, ready, go. Ready, go. Ready, go. Ready, go. Ready, go. Ready, go. Okay, some people are thinking, okay, I just like clapping, so keep on clapping. Maybe it's a habit or pattern. So if you could, team, we're going to be able to determine a lot about everybody in the room by the way we naturally cross our thumbs. So scientists and psychologists have been doing this for many years, and they determine you can tell a lot about a person by the way they naturally cross their thumbs. So if you have your left thumb crossed over your right thumb, could you do me a favor and put your hands in the air? Whoa, all right, more than half the room, okay? If your left thumb is over your right thumb, scientists and psychologists have proven that you are a little logical, and you're on your path to be a multi-millionaire one day. That's a good thing, right? And then right over left. Who has right over left? Okay, right over left is good. So if you're right over left, you know, sometimes you're very creative, and also you're found to be very attractive by the opposite sex.
Yeah.
That's a good thing too, right?
I'm moving.
Does anybody out of curiosity have their thumbs flushed like this? Very, very rare. So if your thumbs are flush, it's very rare. I don't see this much. I'm happy nobody in the room has this, because if your thumbs are flush, scientists and psychologists have proven that you think you're sexy and you're not very bright, right? So thank goodness nobody in the room. So if you could, without actually changing your fingers, could you go ahead and change your thumbs for me, team? Feels odd, doesn't it, right? So what we did at a very minute level is we actually broke your habit or your pattern, right? And is it fair to say that when we actually do something different, we change a habit or pattern, at first, does it feel uncomfortable?
Yes.
But isn't it fair to say as well that everything that we want in life right now that we do not have is outside of our comfort zone?
Yes.
And we have to be able to change a habit and pattern and also a way of thinking to be able to get that. Is that fair to say as well, right?
Yes.
So thank you guys for playing full out. Give yourself a big hand with some energy. All right. So what Tony has been doing for many, many years, he's been studying human behavior and studying success. And he actually uses a great principle, which you should apply in your business, called modeling. Modeling simply is finding out who is doing something better than you, do what they have done to get the same result. So what we have found is there's really 3 simple pillars of success that if you take these, put this into your health, your relationships, or your business here at Plexus, you're going to be able to get amazing results. Would you like to learn these?
Yes.
All right. First one, write this down. The first one is what we call strategy. What's the first one, team?
Strategy.
Strategy. You got to have a plan, right? So when we talk about strategy, you know, what is your plan? What is your outcome? What is your vision for what you want to be able to create? And also with that strategy, is it clear? Is it something in front of you? Is it something you connect with? Is it something that you really know that you can achieve? So strategy is number 1. So once we have a plan, what's the next logical step?
Action.
Action. Number 2 is action. What's number 2, team?
Action.
Right? Are we making our phone calls? Are we actually following through on the plan? Are we getting up every single day and actually have a plan, a list to be able to follow? Are we making the phone calls? Are we telling people about the business? Are we going out there and really taking the action to be able to get the results we want? You got to take action, easy stuff. But the third one is what we call the most important. The third one is what we are the best in the world at. There's nobody better. Our third one is what we call our mindset. What is it, team?
Mindset.
Our psychology, right? The way we think. You know, when I coach people, I ask them this question. When they come to me, they say, Scott, you know, I can't get this result. I want to be able to get X, Y, Z. I say, okay, is it a problem of not knowing what to do? Or is it a problem of not doing what you know, right? Because is it fair to say, if you want to be successful in this business, you have wonderful leaders, you have uplines here that will be able to support you and give you exactly what you need to do for success. Is that fair to say, right? So really, psychology is what we call the 80% of the 100% that we need for success. And psychology is not only really doing what you know, but also how are you doing it? When you're telling people about the business, are you telling them with passion, with excitement, with enthusiasm, or are you just making your calls to be able to get through the actions, right? How are you showing up? What kind of emotions are you having? Or when someone hangs up on you and someone doesn't show up for a meeting, someone doesn't say, don't call me anymore and tell me about this company, are you able to control your emotion, control your mindset, right? So we've got strategy, activity, and mindset. So important question for you. If you're unable to improve anything, the first step for improvement or transformation or change is to be able to first recognize where you are and first get awareness around it. Is that fair to say, right? So here's a question for you. On a scale 1 through 10, 1 being Scott, you know, I'm horrible at it. 10 being Scott, I am the best in the world, right? Where are you on a scale 1 through 10 with your strategies, with your activity, with your mindset for this business? So if you could, team, take a second on your worksheet, write down a number on a scale 1 through 10 as far as where you believe that you show up with your strategies, your activities, your mindset. There's no right, there's no wrong today. An ex-girlfriend of mine back in 2011 actually sat next to Oprah Winfrey. Everybody knows Oprah, right? She was actually at one of our events. And they asked Oprah the same question. On a scale 1 through 10, what do you think she said?
4.
She said 4. Yeah. She said, well, isn't that crazy? Self-made billionaire, right? You know, has connections with everybody in the world. She thinks she's a 4. So no matter how well we're doing in life, how successful we are in certain areas, there's always another level. Fair to say, right? So question for everybody. On a quick show of hands, how many people say, Scott, my strategies, my activity, my mindset, maybe a 1, 2, or 3? Anybody? I love your honesty. Okay. 4, 5, or 6? Mostly everybody. 7, 8? All right. And 9, 10. Okay. So would it be fair to say, Jen, based on the hands, probably as a team, if we brought everybody together tonight, probably looks like, based on the hands, we're probably about level 6, right? Is that fair to say, team? Yes? Okay. So for 6, what's that tell us? We got work to do, right? There's room for improvement, right? So that's a great thing. That's something we should get excited about. There's room for growth, room for improvement. And also level 6, it also tells us as well, is it possible we're leaving money on the table on a daily basis for this business, right? Is it possible that not only leaving money, we're leaving time on the table to really hit our goals, our freedom, and our freedom dates, fair to say, right? So number 6 is, how can we fill the gap? So the $1 million question is tonight. We know we're number 6, and we want to go to the next level. The $1 million question is this. What do you think is stopping you from getting there? It's not the company. The company has an amazing products. We heard about the products, right? We know the compensation plan's good. You know, we know the need is out there in the marketplace. So what's stopping you? So if you could, team, I love this. Write on your worksheet 1 or 2 things that you think might be stopping you personally. And I heard fear, right? Okay, fear is a fascinating one, right? Now, is fear real or is that something we make up?
Made up.
We made it up, right? And what kind of fears do people have? Fear of what?
Rejection.
Rejection, right? What else? Failure. Success. Wow, excellent. Success. Maybe not being good enough. Maybe not being loved in relationships. Maybe not being smart enough, right? Fear. What else? Tell me more, team. Rejection. Okay, good. What else is stopping us other than fear?
Habits.
Habits. Bad habits, right? Okay.
Motivation.
Okay. Bad habits. Can we put maybe emotions too? Because does the emotions control our life as well? Right? And who said motivation? Excellent. Thank you for sharing. Motivation. Okay. So motivation is a funny one because when we go to our big convention we're going to in Vegas here in June, when we come to these meetings, do we get motivated, right? But what happens when we leave sometimes? Right? So it's keeping that motivation, right? Keeping it. Okay. What else? What about time? Have you ever heard anybody say, Scott, I want to be able to be successful. I want to be able to build my business, but I got kids. I have a husband. I have to work. I have no time. Has anybody ever said that before, right? Okay. The funny thing about time is we all have the exact same amount of time. Isn't that true? Okay. Fear, no time, bad habits. What else?
Money.
Money, right? From California to New York to Florida to Texas, I hear no money, no time. Top two. What else?
One of the things I get is lack of knowledge, like how to speak or like I'm on a farming trip.
Okay.
Still learning as fast as I'm trying to go.
Okay. And your first time doing network marketing?
Yes.
Okay. Welcome. Congratulations. Yeah, great business. So lack of knowledge. Okay, that's fair to say. What else? Support group. So a support group could be, your home life as well, right? Your husband or your wife or your family on board. What else? Anything else? Got some good ones there. Jen, anything else we're missing?
I think missed opportunities sometimes. People feel like they may be missed out especially some of our team that's been around for a while.
The boat's already sailed.
Right.
Yeah.
I've missed the window to be successful.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay. There's other companies, other competition. Okay, got it.
Even within our own company.
Okay.
Saturation is the word.
Market saturation.
Saturated. Okay. Okay. Everybody's in a company. All right. Okay. Cool. So these things, is it fair to say that these things do come up in life? Fair to say, right? How many people if we're being honest, may have one or two of these on the board, right? And what do we normally call these?
Excuses.
Excuses, roadblocks, right? We call these, lies sometimes to ourselves. Here at the Tony Robbins Group, we have a very scientific term. Please jot this down, okay? We're very scientific here. We call this our BS, which stands for what we know is our belief systems, guys. This is a PG talk, okay? PG, all right. Our belief systems. And, pretty fun, great story about belief systems. Anybody heard of Roger Bannister before? Anybody know that name? What did he do? Oh, okay. Congratulations. First person in human history in 1954 to break the 4-minute mile, right? So, amazing story. If you ever get an opportunity to Google the story, it's pretty fantastic. So, here's what happened back in 1954. There was a belief around the world that the 4-minute mile couldn't be done. Actually, before Roger broke it, for hundreds of years before that, it was literally a race around the world as far as what country could produce the first runner to break the 4-minute mile, right? And what they did, in some countries, they would go to such extremes, they would get their best runners timed behind horses and almost drag these runners and get them run faster, right? Almost insane. Some scientists back in the early 1900s said if you exerted your heart to that level, it would literally explode inside the chest cavity, right? Silly as it may seem, right? But what happened in 1954, Roger had a different belief system, right? He had a different mindset. He had what we call an empowering belief. The empowering belief was, you know, I have a belief that I could do it. So what Roger did, much like this opportunity we have right now, he had a team of people around him to support him, right? He had the vision, he had the belief, he had the passion, he took the action, he did the work. 1954, broke the 4-minute mile, celebrated around the world at the time, right? Sir Roger Bannister today. But what happened after he broke it?
Yeah, broken, I think 3 times in the next 6 months.
Absolutely, right? 3. Actually, it broke another time after 2 months after he did it, and then 4 times the next year. Unbelievable. And what changed back then? The mind, right? Some people just say steroids, right? But no, the mindset, right? So if you could, write this down for me. A belief is simply a feeling of absolute certainty we have. There is absolutely nothing more that you could get awareness around, master, and really be able to look at in your life than your beliefs. That's your foundation. Because with your beliefs, your thoughts create your beliefs create your decisions create your actions create your results. So belief is simply a feeling of absolute certainty. We have 2 beliefs, pretty simple. The first belief we have is what we call an empowering belief. What's the first one, team?
Empowering.
It wasn't very empowering. What's the first one, team?
Empowering.
Empowering belief, right? An empowering belief will get you motivated. It'll get you excited. It'll get you passionate. It'll get you certain. It'll get you congruent. It'll get you out there to really be able to go the extra mile in your business. The second belief we have is what we call a limiting belief. What do you think a limiting belief does?
The opposite.
Yeah.
Right, knocks us down. It's almost like, you know, have you ever had the experience sometimes in your business where you actually get momentum and you have the feeling you maybe get a couple of people in your team, you're getting excited about the opportunity, and you actually go home and you start thinking about, this is actually working, right? This is, I'm on my way to becoming free. And then a couple weeks later, you're back to where you were. Have you had that belief, right? That is a limiting belief. So if you take one thing with you today, jot this down. So important. When you get this, it will transform your life. Write this down. We will never outsell, out-earn our current belief system. Say it again. We'll never out-earn, outsell your current belief. What that simply means is if you have a belief that you can make $5,000 a month, you'll never make $15,000 a month. You have a belief you're going to make $200 a month in this business, you'll never make $20,000 a month, right? Because what happens is, even though you may get momentum, you may get some action going, what happens is, unconsciously, what do? Man, you know, maybe this is not for me. This is kind of a hard business. Maybe this doesn't work. Maybe I don't know if I deserve it. You know, people are going to drop off. I don't know what to do. How do I, when people sign them up, how do I make them successful, right? And what happened unconsciously, what we do, we come back to who we truly think we are, and we call that our identity. Everybody in this room, we identify ourselves as a certain person. It could be a mom, could be a leader, it could be a husband, it could be a top salesperson. We have an identity, and unconsciously, there's nothing stronger in the human unconscious but to stay consistent with who you think you are. Does that make sense? That's why sometimes we go up. Right? Has anybody had this experience of life? Or even scarier, having the same experience maybe every year after every year after every year, right? Thinking, kind of this year, 2013 looked like 2014, looked like 2015, right? So, beliefs. This all makes sense. Say yes?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, beliefs are so important. So, how many people in the room would like to learn scientifically on how these beliefs that we have right now in our life will affect 2016, 2017, the next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years of our life, and how we can really be able to use this information to really be able to get the best life ever. Anybody in?
Yes.
To change your life and how to, yes?
Yes.
There we go, all right. Make sure you guys are alive. All right, so this is what we call a success cycle. Really powerful stuff. So the bottom left, if you could, put in the word, does everybody have a worksheet? We're all good? Worksheets? Okay, good. Put in the word results here, please. Results. So, okay, we're going to fast forward to January 31st, 2016. You're looking back on the year, and you are excited about what you created this year in your business. What I want you to do is in the box for results, write in how much money that you would like to be able to make in this business.
In 1 year? In a year?
This year. This year, 2016. Is that appropriate, or should we do monthly? Okay, let's do a year. Right. Just for a reference point, give me some numbers, team. What's a good number to make? What would be some?
200,000.
200,000. Are people doing that?
Yes.
Okay, absolutely. What else? Give me another number.
1 billion. I mean, why limit yourself?
Are people doing it?
Almost.
Okay, okay.
Online vote for 220,000. Very specific.
What?
Christy Contreras says
What do you-
220,000.
Okay, and people are doing that, right?
221. I mean,
What do you think would be a good, a good starting point to put up here for the team? Would it be, say, maybe 50,000, 100,000?
Yeah.
Okay. And whatever your number is, again, no right, no wrong today. It could be 10,000, it could be 200,000, it could be $1 billion. No right, no wrong today. Whatever your number is, you guys will get it. So to be able to create a certain result, is it fair to say you have to go out there and take focused, consistent, sometimes massive action? Fair to say, right?
Yes.
Action. Massive action. And sometimes to be able to really take that action, take that massive action, sometimes is it fair to say we have to be able to tap into a bigger version of ourselves or tap into more potential. Is that fair to say, right? Word up here is potential. And how much potential do we all have in the room?
unlimited.
Okay. Everybody in the room, is it fair to say, has much more potential than we're tapping into right now, right?
Yes.
Probably if we tapped into our full potential, we would scare the heck out of people around us, right? Right? And we all have it. If you think about it, you know, we're gifted, right, with the greatest machine on the planet, our body, right? It gets cut, it heals itself, right? One of the greatest computers, which is our mind, right? We're able to make decisions, be able to make choices, and really be able to create our own destiny. So we have unlimited potential. But to really be able to tap into the most potential, take the most action, get the best results, you have to have a belief. And this is patterns up here. So we got patterns and we got beliefs. Sorry about my writing. So here's how this works. Let's say I'm in Plexus. I've been here for maybe a couple months, maybe coming up on a year, and you know I'm in the business and I'm out there sharing my opportunity. But sometimes it's hard to get people to call me back, and people are avoiding me, or maybe sometimes I start to be able to form a little bit of a negative belief about the business. So if I have a negative belief about the business that maybe the market is saturated, maybe I have no time, maybe that it's really new for me, maybe that it's uncomfortable for me sometimes to really be able to talk to people. If I have that negative belief that goes in my mind, does it go in my mind once a day, or do you think many times a day? Studies have shown the average human being has up to 60,000 thoughts a day. But the scary part is this: 90% of the thoughts you have today, we had yesterday, and we're going to have tomorrow, and most likely next week, right? Right? Patterns, unconscious patterns of behavior, right? So if we have a negative belief that runs in our mind over and over and over and over again, with a negative belief, do we tap into more potential, team, or less? Okay. Less potential, right? You showing up not the best man or best woman that you could be, not the best version of yourself. You showing up less you could be. You take more action or less action? What happens here?
Less belief.
Well, it actually goes up. The negative belief becomes stronger, right? And we start to really doubt our beliefs and really doubt our life. And then we say, Jen, I told you. It's not me. It's It's a saturated market. It's not me. Everybody's part of another group. It's not me. It's hard to get people to me. It's not me. Nobody calls me back, right? And what happens unconsciously, you get boxed in. What happens unconsciously? Negative belief, less potential, less action, less results. And then the scary part, what happens is when we don't get the results, we become frustrated. Is that fair to say? Right? And we're frustrated, that's an emotion. When you're in a high emotional state, this is Tony's work. When you're in a high emotional state, positive or negative, this reinforces the belief, right? So the more frustrated you get from not getting the result, the belief unconsciously becomes stronger. And then you become more certain about the belief, and you start not showing up for meetings, and you think this stuff doesn't work. Fair to say, right?
Yeah.
And if you look at this, I mean, if we really look at this together as a team, and you know, being honest, I mean, because, you know, today, I mean, really think about it, this could be an opportunity for many people to transform the rest of your life. The first thing you got to do is be honest. Is that fair to say? And truth is where you're able to set yourself free. We've heard that before. So if we're honest with ourselves and we look at this together as a team and we're able to coach yourself and really be able to coach yourself as a team, because how many people in their careers or life had a good coach before, right? Does a good coach tell you what you want to hear or what you need to hear? So if we're coaching ourselves here and we look at this stuff, these fears, these limiting beliefs, these stories we tell ourselves, is it fair to say in the past, this has stopped us from financial opportunities, from money, stopped us from maybe relationships, maybe stopped us from connection with our kids, maybe stopped us from the vacations we didn't have, maybe from the health. Past is the past. But the important part is today. What would be the danger of taking this stuff from 2016 to 2017 and beyond? Negative beliefs?
Oh.
It's a downward spiral.
It's a downward spiral, right?
Yeah, nothing changes, that's the same.
Yeah. And then, you know, the same year, right? And it's usually consistent. If you think about it, if you look at your bank balance, you look at your bank account, for most people, it's pretty consistent. You know, usually you made about the same amount of money 5 years ago as you do today. It's pretty consistent. And the scary part about it, at the end of the day, you know, we have these beliefs that are formed and become part of our identity, our life. And then as well, at the end of our lives, you know, with our kids and our family, we become an example of what to do or example of what not to do, right? But at the end of the day, who is the one person on the planet that can be able to change these beliefs and be able to create whatever you want to create? Who's one person? You, right? Me, us, right? As a team. The one person, it's not Tony, it's nobody, it's not the husband, it's not the kids, it's not the wife, it's not Jen. She's not going to help you become a millionaire. I mean, she'll support you to the highest level, I'm sure, but she can't make you go out there and make the phone calls. Can't make you go out there and invite people. She can coach you how to do it, but she can't make you do it, right? At the end of the day, the one person is us. So picture this, being able to really be able to say enough is enough. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm going to go spend 3 days with the #1 success coach on the planet, Tony Robbins, and get this stuff knocked out and really be able to create the destiny that you want. Because everybody in this room, I believe in everybody in this room at a high level. I've met a few people coming in, but we have, I mean, look where we are, guys. We're in the United States of America. Is that fair to say, right? Best country in the world? Yes? Are we in a great economy here in Dallas?
Yes.
I live in Florida. That is not a good economy, right? Dallas is amazing here. I mean, there's so much abundance, so many great people. There's so many things to do. I mean, think about this. There's people in parts of the world today that are worried about how to get their meal. There's people in parts of the world today that are worried that someone's going to come down to their house, pull them out to the middle of the street and cut their head off, right? So we need to be grateful for what we have and take advantage of, because guess what? We have time is a commodity today that we don't have a lot of. So we got to be able to focus on that. So I want everybody to do is just take a second and think. When you create that income, what else will it do for in your life? So right next to your income, that $100,000, $2 billion, or $10,000, right next to that, what else will it do for you? And let's get emotional. Not just buy a new Plexus, which is pretty cool, right? That's pretty cool. But what will that really do for you? Will it make you proud? Will it make your kids proud? Will it be able to give you more magical moments, more experience? And take your kids on that vacation you've been telling them you're going to do for years. Maybe just get your husband excited again, your wife excited again, right? Maybe just be able to get your swagger back, right? We've all had that swagger, right? So what this can do for you?
Not all of us have had that swagger yet. Some of us,
We're working on it.
some of us are still reaching there, especially in network marketing.
So what would you like to achieve, Becky? So if you were able to achieve your financial goal, what would that give you? What would that really do for you?
That would take tremendous stress off of my family, including my husband, who would love to retire. It would help our grown children and our children still at home breathe.
Breathe. Feels good, huh? Breathe.
Yeah, to breathe. But I've had swagger in other businesses.
Yeah.
I don't have it yet in Plexus, and I know my friends here that are just starting out. A lot of us are still like have our toes in the water.
Nice.
You know, we haven't swam past the buoy yet,
Right.
but we're gonna.
Right. So when you really get, when you get be able to retire the husband and be able to breathe and get the stress, what will that do for people around you?
Oh, everyone will be so happy. It'll be Christmas.
And what will that give you? What kind of feeling would it give you inside?
Oh, pride, happy, relax. Everything. It would be total freedom.
It would have changed your life.
Yes.
At 100%, right? Let's give her a hand. That's
It's
awesome. See, what happens here, team, a belief is this. A belief is a thought. But what happens, we have a belief that I'm stupid. We have a belief you're stupid or not smart. What happens, we look at experiences in our life that support that belief, right? So once you're able to achieve that success, you'll get the belief that I did that, right? And it's not only going to be able to impact your finances and also your Plexus business and your upline and your downline, but also all areas of your life, right? Because what happens is, if we have a belief, let's say we have a belief that, you know what, I can be able to achieve whatever I want to achieve. I can be able to create whatever I want to create. And you go out there and really have that certainty and that confidence, that belief that you can make it happen. With a positive belief that I can make it happen, no one's going to stop me. This is an unbelievable time, an unbelievable market. I'm going to do this right now, right? Because I have the tools, I'm going to make it happen, I have the support. With that belief, you tap into a little more potential or a lot more? Action, a little more or a lot more? What happens here? Everybody go cha-ching, Lexus, cha-ching, right? And then what happens here?
Higher and higher.
Yep. Exactly. Positive. That's positive. Man, I knew I was good, right? I didn't know I was that good, right? And what happens, you have your swagger back, you have your chest out, and you have the belief that no matter what happens, and guess what? This, for a lot of people in this business, I know a lot of people in network marketing, this is a great starting point to be able to create, other passions. This is for many people, this is not an exit strategy, but this is a path to freedom. You can speak, you can write a book, you can follow the passions, you can invest in real estate, whatever you want to do. But this is such a great tool to be able to really help you get there. But the first thing you got to do is master what? Belief, right? Now, question for everybody. How many people in the room would like to be able to see the best way that's been proven by millions of people to be able to really get whatever you want and improve that belief? Anybody say yes?
Yes.
Write this down. 23rd through the 26th of June, we have Mr. Tony Robbins coming in town for an event called Unleash the Power Within. This is a 3-day transformational event. We are a big believer in what we call total immersion. Total immersion is where for 3 days, you're walking, moving, breathing different. Day 1 is what we call fear to power. Fear to power, first night what we do, believe it or not, is we have you do what is called the firewalk experience. Anybody hear about the firewalk before? Picture this. Day 1, 11 o'clock to day 1, you walk out, you see 14 feet of hot, burning coals in front of you. The walk on fire. Why do you think Tony Robbins has you walk on fire?
4-minute mile.
Exactly, Phil, right? You walk on fire, what else can you do? Anything, right? Day one is about what we call emotional mastery and also state management. I'll give you an exercise here in a minute to show you the power of state management. State management and emotional mastery, the way you feel is going to be determine your actions. But if you think about it at a very basic level, when you feel good, what do? You do good things, right? You eat better, you're more positive, you smile at people, you meet more people, you make more calls, you build your business. You feel bad, what do? Right? We teach you how to emotionally master yourself day one. Day two is what we call success conditioning. There's certain patterns, certain recipes of success that have been around for many years, and we teach certain technologies that you can't find anywhere else. We teach what is called the science of momentum, how to really be able to get motivated and stay motivated all the time by following a 4-step process. We give you what is called the success principle. It's a 5-step process to be able to scientifically hit every single goal. Now, how important on a scale 1 through 10, 10 being most important, is influence and rapport in your business? 1 through 10. 12, right? It's everything, right? Because what happens, you have to be able to share the vision, connect, meet their needs, and then show them the opportunity, right? So what happens, day two, is all about rapport. We teach you how to be able to connect with anybody instantly. Really amazing stuff. But day three is why people go. People come from all over the world for day three. Day three is not hope you feel better day, get better day. Day three is what we call transformation day. You will be able to recognize your top 3 limiting beliefs and go through a process with Tony Robbins called transformation, which you will never forget the rest of your life. 98% of people that go through day three say it's one of the top 5 experiences of their life, up there with having kids and getting married, as far as transformation and breakthrough and as far as emotions in their life. Because you let go of the stuff. How would it feel to let go of the stuff? Right? Unbelievable. And then day 4 is a bonus day. It's a bonus health day, how to alkalize, energize. Now, if you're around a couple thousand people that are from all over the world, and we're talking about helping, we're talking about weight loss, we're talking about cleansing, we're talking about alkalizing, do you think you may be able to find one person to share the business with? Right? And that are motivated too. These are people that go to the events that they're not hanging out in life. They're there. They're investing their time. They're investing their money to become better. So they're people that are motivated. And these are people you're not have to drag along, right? So that is day 4, Tony Robbins, Unleash the Power Within. Amazing event. So what I want to do, I want to give you guys one last principle, and it's called emotional state mastery. So we're a big believer of this. And there's 3 things you have to be able to master if you really want to be able to control the way you feel. And this is actually as important as our belief, because the way we feel controls our beliefs. So there's 3 things you got to master. Write these down for me. First one is our focus, right? So Tony's a big believer, what you focus on expands. And what you focus on, you think about. So number 2, to be able to control your emotions, is your language, right? What are you saying to yourself? Are you asking yourself a good question or a bad question? A bad question could be, why does this happen to me, right? Why can't I break through? Why does this always happen? Why can't I get ahead, right? Or you can ask yourself a better question. What's great about this? What have I learned? How can I break through? How can I get something from this experience? And then the third thing with the emotional triad is your physiology. Because you think about somebody who is excited and passionate, how is their physiology? How's their head? Right? How's their voice? Right? Is their voice slow or fast? Right? Shoulders up or slumped? Up, right? You think about someone's down, vice versa, right? So what I want to do, if you guys are open for it, I want to give you a feeling of what it feels like to be in what we call peak state, where you're ready to be able to go to the gym, make the phone calls, go be with the kids, go be with your loved ones, and be your best. Would you like to see this exercise?
Yes.
I don't believe you guys. Yes?
Yeah.
All right, stand up with some energy. I need a couple volunteers, please. Not everybody at once, please. Come on up.
There we go.
Come on up. Thank you for volunteering. All right. And we need 3 people. Jen, would you be our third judge? All right, so we're going to play American Idol here. So 3 judges. All right. Your hair looks great. So what you're going to do is, judges, to stand up here with your arms crossed and look at everybody really closely. All right. So what we're going to do, everybody, if you could in the audience, put your left hand out, right hand back. I'm going to ask everybody one empowering question. If you could, go ahead and say yes with a hand clap to answer the question, okay? Are we going to have one of the best years of our lives?
Yes.
Okay. So judges, on a scale of 1 through 10, 1 being dead comatose, 10 being the most excited, passionate people you've ever seen in your life, on a scale of 1 through 10, what kind of grade would you give them? Go you first, Jackie, on a scale of 1 through 10.
1.
High standards, I like that.
I give him a 3.
I agree with Jen. I would have said 3.
3, okay. So about a 2 or 3 average, not very good, guys. So is it fair to say, think about this, and is it fair to say sometimes in our life, we may be going through our day, maybe at level 2 or level 3, and we know in our mind that we need to build a business, but in level 2 or level 3, what kind of results do you think we get when we make phone calls or tell people about our business?
Level 2 or level 3.
Right. Hey, I want to tell you about this opportunity. I think it'll change your life for you. Right? My good friend Rhonda, she'll make $900,000 last year in network marketing. And I was with her last week in Florida. She was in Florida where I live. And her vision and her certainty and her congruence and her belief is through the roof, right? I mean, that is really, aligning with a company like this, they do all the work for you. The only thing you got to work on is what? Belief, right?
Yeah.
So can we do better?
Yes.
Second chance for everybody?
Yes.
Okay, you guys are in for this one, okay? All right, everybody get the hands going? All right, what is the one word that we want to hear the rest of our life when you say, are you ready to sign up for my business? What's that word?
Yes.
All right, everybody say yes.
Yes.
And more fun this year.
Yes.
Make more money.
Yes.
Do your best.
Yes.
Live with passion.
Yes.
Say no. Say yes.
Yes.
There's a different feeling in your body when you say yes versus no too. All right, so if you could, team, left hand out, right hand back, chest out, like you're going to be able, you are stepping into the greatest version of yourself right now. You're going to be the best man, woman, decision maker, leader that you can possibly be starting right now. So what we're going to do, team, left hand out, right hand back. I'm going to ask you guys 3 empowering questions if you could. For all 3, answer with enthusiastic yes. Watch me first. It'll be 1 yes. It'll be 2 yeses. It'll be 3 yeses. The 3rd yes, we're going to get excited. We're going to go yes, 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 yes. Whoa, yes. Some people are thinking, whoa, no, right? This looks silly. I'm not getting paid for this because my hand hurts, right? All right. So I encourage you guys to try it 1 time with full energy. And then after that, we're going to see how we feel. Okay, so follow me. Left hand out, right hand back. Are we going to be the best we can be? Yes! Yes! How are we going to step up? Yes! We take more action? Yes! 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 For a second. Deep breath in. Let out. Did you feel that, like the energy, the buzz, right? This is without working out, right? This is, without coffee or without caffeine. This is our natural state that we should be in, right? But really what happens emotionally, we beat ourselves up and we get in a bad state. So what we have to do, we have to recondition ourselves, repattern ourselves for success. This has happened many times. We can do this, but it takes a little bit of work. Going to Tony Robbins for 3 days everything's not going to be solved, but you're going to be at a different level of awareness and be armed with tools for success that will last the rest of your life. So if you guys could give yourself a big hand. Have a seat. Thank you guys. What I'm going to do briefly, I'm going to give you guys some information and tell you a little bit more about how we can come out to the event. Do you guys have a little bit of fun?
Yes.
Okay. What a good group. I tell you, I was telling Jen earlier, I love this business so much because this is something that no matter where you're from, what your social, economic situation is, you can create your destiny and your dreams from this opportunity. It's up to us. If you look at the number 2 industry in the world is network marketing for the future. I think number 1 is pharma, which is not good, but number 2 is your business, right? But it all takes right here. So here's how this works. I'm going to give you guys some information here and tell you a little bit how we can come out. The cool thing about this is we are actually having an event March 10th through the 13th in Florida. So the great thing about me being out here early, you get some early bird prices and specials and discounts. You guys like that stuff? Yes?
Yes.
So here's how it works. So if you look here, we have what is called, here's the enrollment information. You have the top what is called a diamond. Diamond is based on the price you see. It's not for everybody. It's for people that like the best cars, want to sit in the front, have the best experience. We have a private lounge. We feed you. We give you also an audio program, things like that. It's really cool. Diamond is $25.95 for Diamond Premier. Behind the Diamond Premier is what we call Baby Diamond. Baby Diamond is $23.95. And then under that is the VIP. VIP is probably our most popular package because it's rows probably about 10 through 20, so you're up there in the action. The closer is, as you know, the energy's higher. So the VIP is the investment of $16.95. And then the executive is $13.95, and then also general admission, which is only $10.95 for Tony Robbins Unleash Your Power Set. If I could, before we wrap up today, I'd like to share my story. Is that okay? How I got here? Because I originally grew up in a very small town. And anybody familiar with Maryland by any chance? Anybody here at Cumberland, Maryland?
Yes.
What are they famous for?
I have no idea. I was born there. Growing up.
They're famous for nothing. No, actually, they're back in the early 1900s. So they're the second fastest growing city in Maryland. Now they're the fastest, the only city where more people moving out than moving in. So it's very, very small, very depressed area. That's where I grew up. So I grew up, needless to say, with a lot of people that were very nice people, very sweet people, but they had very limited mindsets, right? Because that usually happens in small towns, fair to say, right? Nothing wrong with that. It's just, it kind of happens. So what happened when I grew up in a very small town, was in the military, got out of the military in my late 20s, and I got a job when I was about 30 years old. I'm 42 now, 30 years old, in a mortgage company in Tampa, Florida called American Dream Financial. And this was, about 12 years ago. And 12 years ago, if you remember, mortgage in real estate was pretty hot, right? So I remember getting a job with the company, and I remember coming in, seeing all these people making all this money. And I'm seeing dollar signs, which, in my 40s, I learned it's not about dollar signs. It's about value, right? And that's the mindset that I believe everybody should have, when you approach people. It's not about how can you help me. It's like how can I change your life? How can I give you value, right? So I remember, in my 30s, I had a different mindset. I come in for money, and all these people making $20,000, $30,000 a month, right? It was unbelievable. So I get in there, I'm excited, but, time goes by. And me growing up in a small town with a negative mindset, my mother today, she's 74 years old and in debt, and my whole family's in debt right now. So it's a negative mindset that's passed on. If you look up epigenetics, right, a lot of beliefs are transferred over time. And what happened is I got this company and going month 6, month 7, month 8, month 9, and I was struggling. I was, struggling so much where I was about 38 pounds overweight. So I'm about 200 pounds now, I was like 240 almost. And I was struggling so much, it was affecting my relationship with my girlfriend. And what I was doing was really sad. I was pretending like I had more money than I did. I took her out for dinner, and credit card debt was coming up, and it was a very painful time in my life. And I had a breakthrough one day. And 9 months into it, I came into the office, and have you ever been to a sales shop? They probably have it down here, where they have the leaderboard of the top producing people, right? So I had, it was a curse back then, but it was a gift now that I look back. I had the curse of having my desk in front of the leaderboard of the top people, right? And I come in one morning, I'm like, okay, where am I this month? And there's 18 salespeople, and I'm going down looking for my name, 1, 5, 10, 12, 14, 15, 17, 18, very bottom of the barrel, right? Last producing guy in there. But I was optimistic. They hired a new guy next month, so I moved up from 18 out of 19, right? So, it worked. But one day there was a speaker from Tony Robbins, came in, did a workshop very similar to this. And there's something inside of me just hit like a calling, like, wow, I need to be able to make some change. I need to do something different in my life because it wasn't working. Didn't know much about Tony. I bought the audio program when I was younger, didn't listen to it kind of deal. But, I knew I needed to change. And there was an opportunity to go to the event. The event was actually $300 more expensive than it is today. to go to the event. And I remember I wanted to go to the event, and my friend John, who was #1 guy producing in the office, was kind of coach, a mentor, someone I would complain to all the time, right, but not being successful. And I wanted to go to the event, and John's been before, got results. I said, John, should I go to this event? And he said, Scott, I've known you for 9 months now, and you're always telling me all your reasons why you're not successful. And he said, how old are you right now? And I said, well, about 30, 31 years old. He goes, how many years you been out of high school? I said, 12 years. He goes, you're telling me you don't have enough money right now after 12 years being out of high school to spend $1,000 to invest in yourself to become better. He said, maybe that's the reason why you should go to the event. And he said this to me like, oh. 38 pounds overweight, girlfriend not working. I was like about $19,000 plus in debt, up to my eyeballs in debt, right? And I just knew I needed to change. So what I did, I decided to call Discover Card 4 times to ask them to do put my limit up, put on my credit card, leap of faith. Went to this event. I was so broke. I drove from Tampa to Orlando. I was drinking water and eating crackers, right? I had no money for food, but there was something shifted, and Tony has this ability to grab you and just pull it out of you. And something shifted where I came back. I went from 18 producing to #9 the next month. Went from #9 to #3. I was consistently in the top 5 from the rest of the time. I paid off my debt. Haven't been in debt since then. I lost 38 pounds. 4 months. Girlfriend wasn't working. That was the first thing to get out of my life, right? But the great thing about it, it's really sometimes where, life sometimes takes you when you're at the bottom of the barrel. Sometimes you got to be able to make a decision. And if you think about anybody who's very successful in life, the Donald Trumps, most of the people out there, they've been at their bottom. And the bottom can serve you sometimes, right? Can it, right? You can help you think, okay, it's time to step up and get up. So that was my experience. You're up for you're telling about beautiful Lexus, Dallas.
Just give me 1 minute,
Yeah, sure.
Wonderful, Darren.
I'm gonna give you guys some discounts on these. We have great discounts on these, by the way. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Thanks for coming, guys. Just wanted to thank you. I have my flyers around here somewhere. Anyways,